In 2025, the number of UFO reports reached record levels. All over the world, from bustling metropolises to remote villages, reports are coming in about strange flying objects in the sky. Could these be government projects or visitors from space? Today we will delve into the mysteries of UFOs and try to find out what is hidden above our heads. Ready? Then buckle up. We are flying to uncover the mysteries. UFOs in 2025. Let's start with what's happening right now. January 2025. São Paulo, Brazil. At night, a triangular object the size of a football field hovers over a densely populated area. Hundreds of people are recording it on their phones. A black silhouette with 3 bright lights at the corners stands motionless in the sky for a full 5 minutes, then disappears at a speed that radars fail to detect, over 7,500 miles per hour. Local authorities speak of a technical malfunction in the lighting, but eyewitnesses unanimously insist the object was indeed indisi, somewhat nisidi, in the air. What makes this event noteworthy? Firstly, the scale. There are too many witnesses to simply dismiss it and say, people just imagined it. Secondly, the incredible speed of the object. Aeronautics experts are baffled. Even the most advanced human technologies are not capable of such feats. And thirdly, the authorities' response is sluggish and evasive. After this incident, the Brazilian police confiscated several phones from witnesses. And then leaks from closed archives come into play, which only add fuel to the fire. Leaks and testimonies. In February 2025, an anonymous source calling themselves an AA-tip insider released dozens of documents and videos online allegedly stolen from Pentagon archives. Among them is a report on a UFO sighting over the Pacific Ocean. In January of this year, Navy sailors from the aircraft carrier Nimitz recorded an object shaped like a tic-tac savoir, an elongated oval without wings which moved underwater at a speed of 200 knots, approximately 230 miles per hour, and then surfaced and ascended vertically. The radar recorded it rising to 80,000 feet in 1 second. This is 10 times higher than the ceiling of any fighter jet. The squadron commander, whose name is redacted in the report, stated, "I saw it with my own eyes. It's not ours. And not Russian. It's something completely different." The video from the onboard cameras quickly spread across the internet, and although the Pentagon called it a fake, digital authentication experts confirmed there were no signs of editing. Another leak is a recording of conversations between British Air Force pilots dated March 2025. Over the North Sea, 2 Typhoon fighters were chasing a glowing orb that would accelerate to 5,000 miles per hour and then hover in place. After 10 minutes, the object simply disappeared from the radar. The British Ministry of Defence refused to comment on the recording, stating that it is classified for security reasons. But rumors have already started to spread. Witnesses on the coast saw the same orb and their photos matched the pilots' descriptions. Project Blue Book and AA-tip. There have been instances in history when people saw the inexplicable in the sky. In 1952, the United States Air Force launched Project Blue Book, a secret program to study UFOs. Over 17 years, they examined 12,618 cases, of which 701 remained unexplained. Officially, the project was closed in 1969, stating that UFOs do not pose a threat and are not of extraterrestrial origin. But declassified archives tell a different story. In one of the reports from 1952, a case over Washington is described. Radars detected a dozen objects that outpaced F-94 fighters and disappeared. Pilots reported glowing discs, and the Central Intelligence Agency later recommended calming the public through the media. Doesn't this case resemble those happening today? And now closer to our time. In 2007, the Pentagon secretly launched AA-tip, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Its goal was to study UFOs, especially those observed by the military. In 2017, the New York Times revealed the program by publishing a video of the tic-tac, the very object that was later seen in 2025. Luis Elizondo, the former head of AA-tip, claimed, "We are encountering technologies that are many years ahead of us." After leaving the organization in 2017, Luis released even more data, including reports on UFOs near nuclear facilities. Lesser-known contact incidents. In the past year, there have been so many incidents of contact with strange objects that the media hasn't managed to report all of them to the public. For example, in March of the 25th year, fishermen in the English village of Whitby saw something that the newspapers didn't particularly cover. They noticed a dark cylinder about 100 feet long, silently gliding over the water 200 feet from the shore. One of the fishermen, an old man named Thomas Reed, managed to capture it on his old phone. The footage shows the object suddenly diving underwater, leaving ripples behind, and 3 minutes later resurfacing half a mile away and ascending at a speed of 3,000 miles per hour. The local authorities dismissed it as a play of light, but Thomas swears, "I've been fishing here for 60 years and have never seen anything like it." The video made its way online but quickly got lost among more sensational stories. Here's another case you probably haven't heard of. February 2025. Nevada desert 50 miles from Area 51. A group of tourists in jeeps spots a glowing pyramid about 40 feet tall hovering above the sand. They film it as it slowly rotates, emitting a faint hum, and then suddenly disappears, leaving a scorched circle on the ground 30 feet in diameter. The police later cordoned off the area, and a day later the circle disappeared, supposedly due to the wind. But an analysis of the sand conducted by an independent scientist revealed traces of radiation that shouldn't be present in the desert. The authorities remain silent, and tourists have been asked not to blow the story out of proportion. Could it be that someone wanted to cover up the traces? Opinion of experts. When it comes to UFOs, opinions are divided. Some people shout about aliens, others about secret military projects. But what do real scientists say? Dr. Emily Hart, a physicist from the University of California, studied the videos from São Paulo and Nevada. Her verdict is that a speed of 7,500 miles per hour and sharp maneuvers without a sonic boom are impossible with our current technology. Even hypersonic missiles leave a trail and noise. She adds that the glow of the objects might be related to plasma, but the energy source remains a mystery. If this is a terrestrial device, then we are 100 years behind someone. Her words are confirmed by an infographic. Modern aircraft like the SR-71 Blackbird reach a maximum speed of 2,400 miles per hour, while UFOs easily surpass this threshold. Oh. And what about the military? Retired Colonel James Crow, who served in the US Air Force for 30 years, gave an interview in the past. "I saw such things back in the 90s over Alaska. We called them ghosts. The order was simple: do not pursue and do not report." Crow claims that the Pentagon has long been aware of UFOs but classifies them as unidentified threats to avoid panic. He recalls an incident from 1994 when a radar detected an object moving at 6,000 miles per hour over a base in Ohio. His words resonate with the AA-tip leaks. Yes, UFOs often appear where there is nuclear weaponry or military facilities. Coincidence, or pattern? UFOs and military bases. Each new leak and eyewitness accounts give rise to more questions than answers. Sabots. Why did UFOs start appearing more frequently in 25? Is this reconnaissance before something bigger or just a coincidence? If these are extraterrestrial technologies, then why don't they make contact? Or maybe contact has already been made but it was concealed. And if these are Earth's secret projects, then how do we explain the cases from 1900, the 50s, when such technologies could not have existed? Another mystery is the connection with military zones. Ansatar. 80% of UFO sightings occurred near bases or nuclear facilities. Could it be that they are studying our weapons? Or, on the contrary, are they defending them from a sudden attack? Former US officer Luis Elizondo hinted at black projects, programs that even presidents are unaware of. But what exactly is hidden under these projects? Perhaps humanity is not yet ready for what lies behind the veil of secrecy. There are no answers to these questions yet. Contacts with aliens. We have many examples of UFO sightings from afar, but what about direct encounters? Stories about contacts with visitors from space have been circulating for decades, and the 25th year added new colors. However, let's start from afar. 1947, Roswell, New Mexico. Farmer William Brazel finds debris of a metallic disc with a diameter of 30 feet. The US Army announces a flying saucer, but immediately changes the story to a weather balloon. However, rumors about the bodies of gray beings, 4 feet tall, persist. In archival photos, strange debris was visible, which does not bend and do not burn. The strange bodies were allegedly taken to Wright-Patterson Base. Officially, the authorities deny everything, but in 2025, an anonymous source released the Roswell document, an autopsy report. It contained descriptions of creatures with large eyes and thin limbs. Fake or real? And now let's return to our time. In March, a taxi driver, Rick Garcia from Arizona, stopped on a deserted road to help a person in a hood. But instead of a figure of 7 people appeared in front of him, feet tall with glowing skin appeared. Rick lost consciousness, and upon waking, he saw a teardrop-shaped object taking off at a speed of 5,000 miles per hour. His account was recorded on video. It was looking right at me. I felt like it was reading my thoughts. A roadside camera captured a faint glow, and the soil was heated to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists debate, was it a hallucination or a contact? But the case is not isolated. At the same time, dozens of people around the world reported tall figures and sudden loss of consciousness. Project Blue Book, Cases of Contact. 17 years, the program collected 12,618 cases of contact and 701 remained unexplained. In 1965, a police officer, Herbert Schirmer, pursued a metallic oval 20 feet high in the state of Ohio. The car stalled and he lost consciousness under hypnosis. Schirmer recalled, beings in silvery suits spoke to him telepathically, showing him a ship with an antenna. The object flew away at a speed of 3,000 miles per hour. Blue Book attributed it to the effects of sunstroke, but radiation traces at the contact site were confirmed Mondays. In 1969, the last Blue Book report was made. Over Alaska, a cylinder 100 feet long hovered at an altitude of 10,000 feet. Wax! The fighters couldn't catch up with it. The object departed at a speed of 5,000 miles per hour. The program was closed and the archives were hidden. In 2025, footage from Alaska surfaced online. The same cylinders as in Whitby. Could it be that Blue Book knew more than it revealed to the world? A tip, disclosed documents. A tip started in 2007 went beyond Blue Book. The year 2010, Nevada. An F-18 fighter captured a sphere 30 feet in diameter, which hovered at an altitude of 15,000 feet, and then dove into the ocean at a speed of 2,000 miles per hour. A tip classified this as an anomaly. Luis Elizondo, we have seen hundreds of such cases. By 2025, it became clear spheres are frequent visitors to military bases. According to eyewitnesses, the object was surrounded by a force field, dampening radar waves. Where did it come from? Such technology come from? But the most shocking document was made public in 2025, an ATIP insider. The report stated that the Tic Tac emitted a pulse that disabled radars within 5 miles. Scientists talk about an electromagnetic anomaly, but the source of the energy is unknown. Why is the Pentagon silent? And what else is hidden in the ATIP archives, which are still classified as top secret? UFOs and nuclear weapons. Why do UFOs so often appear where there is nuclear weaponry? This mystery has puzzled people for decades. They seem also to understand the issue. Let's return to Project Blue Book, 1964, South Dakota. Over the Minuteman base, a disk with a diameter of 60 feet hovered at an altitude of 10,000 feet. 8 nuclear missiles were disabled and the object departed at a speed of 5,000 miles per hour. Officer Fred Meinhardt later stated, the systems failed without any objective reasons. Blue Book called it an electrical failure, but the engineers found no malfunctions. In 2025, Meinhardt gave a speech where he stated, the unidentified objects knew where we stored weapons. Infographics confirm 45% of Blue Book's unexplained cases are related to nuclear sites. 1982, Albu, Ukrainian SSR, over the base. In Khmelnytsky, a triangle measuring 100 feet appeared at an altitude of 15,000 feet. Within 3 minutes, 10 missiles became inactive. Colonel Igor Chernov later reported, the object emitted a beam and everything shut down. The UFO flew away at the speed of 6,000 miles per hour, and Moscow classified the incident. Already in the 2000s, information about this incident surfaced online from Russian archives. Photos of the triangle and a report on unknown energy. The coincidence with American cases is striking. Could it be that UFOs are interested in our most dangerous weapons? Conspiracy theories. Rumors of a conspiracy surrounding UFOs have been around for a long time, and each year they become more numerous. One of the theories states, governments have already made contact with the visitors and are hiding it. Skeptics claim that in 1947, strange debris and bodies were taken from Roswell to Area 51. And then the black projects began reverse engineering of extraterrestrial technologies. In 1923, an ATIP insider released a photo of memory metal, allegedly from Roswell. The material bends but returns to its original shape and its composition cannot be analyzed. The Pentagon calls it a fake, but experts claim such a thing cannot be faked. Another theory, UFOs are secret Earth projects. Journalist Bob Lazar claims that he worked in the S4 area on a disk 40 feet in diameter with a gravity engine. He described the object like this. It rose silently and moved at a speed of 3,000 miles per hour. In 2025, Lazar returned with a new statement. What we see now is the evolution of those machines. But if these are Earth technologies, why do the authorities hide them? And how do we explain incidents before the 1940s? The third theory, the most eerie. The authorities are collaborating with UFOs. Rumors say President Eisenhower met with the Greys in 54, with beings 4 feet tall. Allegedly, there was an agreement, technology in exchange for experiments on humans. In 2020, an anonymous CIA insider released the meeting protocol. UFOs promised not to interfere in human affairs but would monitor nuclear weapons. Fact or fiction? There is no definitive answer, but coincidences with past incidents are unsettling. But what if the truth is somewhere in the middle? UFOs in 2025. This is no longer fantasy, but a reality that cannot be ignored. Do you believe that UFOs are visitors from the stars or a secret government project? Write in the comments. Like and subscribe if you want to learn more about the mysteries of our Earth and the sky above us.